this is Thunder from Booredatwork.com, and welcome to our unboxing and a first look. This is our review, unboxing and first look of the Sony HDR-PJ260V. So the PJ260V is a camcorder that has a projector. It's a HD camcorder, of course. That also comes with a built-in projector on there. You can see the packaging, traditional Sony camcorder packaging. You've got the Sony logo, it says Handycam. You can see sealed there. A couple of things just noted around, show you some of the specs. Of course, got an 8.9 megapixel still imaging, 16 gigabytes of onboard storage. It does accept XC card as well as a memory stick. Of course, works with iMovie very well. Claims 9 hours of battery life. Also have Navitech map, so we will check that out with geotagging. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm going to use my trusty scissors here. Be careful when you do this at home. Nevertheless, that's all opened. There we go. So pull it out, see what we have. Contents. First things up, it's our limited warranty. We do have, of course, a brochure for other products, 15% off if you use this, or the code that's given to you with that. 15% off on all selected Sony accessories. We do have our camcorder manual here, fairly thick, but does show you some content. So always refer back to this if you need any help, or you can, of course, check out our videos. Let's open this up. So what do we have in here? First off, cables. So there is a USB dongle cable here, power plug. Of course, this is the power charger. Still, if you have an older Sony camcorder, it looks like it's still the same proprietary port. So if you have an older camcorder, your charger should still work. We'll check it out with our older Sony camcorder. Here is our battery. Should give us 9 hours of record time. Of course, depends on your settings too anyway. Active force, Sony usually uses. We also have here mini HDMI to HDMI cables provided, which is very nice. Very few people actually do that for anything, so it's pretty cool. Not mini, I guess it's micro. And this also comes with a remote control. So you do have a standard remote because you do have a built-in projector, so you don't want to be fiddling with the controls with projector. You just want to remove controls. You can see the remote control here. It's got of course, it's got a power button, or you can say that's actually the start stop, photos, data code, scan through. You got your back and forward buttons, play, pause, stop, zoom back and forth, a directional pad, display, visual index. Of course, we have to pull this out so the battery's all in tuned. That's on the side here. What else do we have in the packaging? We've got, of course, component cables, and finally, yes, here is our Sony PJ260V projector. So the first thing you notice is the projector's on the side, of course, of the LCD viewfinder itself, which of course will make this a thicker viewfinder, if you will. You can see it's got the projector here, built-in projector, 8.9 megapixels. You scroll over to the side, you can see it's just fully touchscreen. You can see how thick it is, but you know, it doesn't make it any heavier. It's actually pretty light. It just feels weighted to a certain side, but it's still a very light device. Now, when you open up the viewfinder, LCD viewfinder, you do have your power, your play, and you have a projector button. Open this up here. We have a headphone jack, and we have a plug-in power, so mic jack. So you have headphone and mic. So you actually, if you use a mic with this, doesn't actually have a shoe, but you can use a mic. So if you do have a mic, or a lapel mic or something like that, you could still use it with this. You've got HDMI out, which of course we provided cables, USB for data transfer. Close that up. What we have here, we also do have, of course, the battery bay where you put your battery, record button. You see on the top, you do have your mode, and of course your quick photo button and your zoom right here. Let's take this off. Now GPS, it's got a 5.1 surround mic built in. You can see the microphone here in front. So it says the Sony logo with the mic here, and it's got a Sony lens, Sony Lens G 30x optical f 1.8/2 on there. So the DC power power ports, it's actually nice. It's a slide door, so you don't have to flick it open, you just have to slide it through. You can see it's got the DC power port and of course the AVR cable port here, so you can actually plug in your AVR cables. And that's just it right there. So now let's power it up. Let's take a quick look at the menu. Of course, we'll do some more detailed look there within the review, but we just want to just quickly see what the menu looks like. So I just plugged it in and I'm charging at the moment, but this is actually my older cable and actually works and it's charging the device. So this is first startup menu. You can see select language of choice, English, and hit next. Of course, now select region. You just kind of use the arrow keys till you, oops, cut across. I was in America and I just left the US. And I believe that should be around the northeast here. New York, there we go. Daylight savings on, next. Now the touchscreens are very simple, they actually feel very responsive. So English, year, month, day, whichever format you want to use. I'm gonna do month, day, year, and current time, I believe, date and time. So this is month, the end of the month of July, date 30th, time, current time, I believe 6:05. So we do that. Sorry. 5 p.m. Set. Hit next. Okey-dokey. And there we have it. Alright, so we've gone through the settings, the initial setup. You can see you have your menu, you have your zoom buttons on screen as well as record. And of course you have an indicator here for your mic, so you can see we can actually zoom in just touching the screen itself. Now if you go into the menu, you have 6 menu options: shooting modes, camera, mic, image quality, playback functions, edit, and setup. So it's kind of self-explanatory here. Shooting modes, you select what mode you want to shoot in a very simplistic way. You can do movie, you can do slow motion record, golf swing, which is basically action shot, and of course you got photos. You actually just take photos straight up. And then you have your camera and mic. Now this goes into the camera and mic settings themselves. So you have options for white balance. Of course, you can go into each menu setting. You can actually change the white balance itself. You can go in for the spot meter itself. You can go in for the spot meter for the mic, the spot focus. You can scroll through here for exposure, focus, and floss. So you can go into those manual settings and customize all those for the camera itself. Now if we head out of here to image quality, now this is where you decide your shooting modes, your shooting image quality itself. So record mode, it's set at highest quality, which is I believe 1080p 60 frames. Then you have high quality here, AVC HD 17M. You've got standard quality, AVC HD 9M high quality there, and you've got long LP. So we will do different videos and we'll show you samples of all of those, but we'll tell you which is which and what is what. And it can show you the recordable medium for all of them. So all of them have, you can see the list in there. You can record on hard drive, your internal memory, zip card, as well as your Blu-ray and HD drive. So those are there. Sorry, let me go back here. Playback functions. You have events, you have highlights, scenarios, and maps. So I haven't actually gone into these in depth detail because I just plugged this in, remember. But movie highlights can be created, and it shows you what you need to do for those. So I guess we have to record something to actually check that out properly. You can edit. Of course, you can actually do some quick editing of your videos on this. And you have your general setup. Your general setup covers media selection, info, formats, repair, and file. So you can go into each one. You can go into HDMI resolution, USB connection, all that fun stuff, and this will also help you with that. So the menu system is very simple and easily laid out, much better than previous versions of Sony camcorders. So it's easy for people to use there. You can also basically store music on this and actually use to play music. Now your projector, when you have it up, you do have a projector focus here. It says it right there, so you can actually focus your projector whichever way you want. And also, if you now the device to actually connect to computer, you know, we had that USB dongle extender. This is, sorry, that's not it. Here it is here. So that's it here. But you know, if you have a USB port that's very close handy by, say, on your keyboard, you can just pull this out, connect it, and you're done, which is pretty cool. It's just, it tucks in right there into the hand strap, and you have your USB port connector right there. So that's nice. Again, like I said, we're charging this. This has, of course, GPS tagging, if you will, built in there, built-in projector. So we're going to use all that stuff. At the bottom here, we do have this slots for your SD card as well as your memory stick in there for you. So we will spend some good time using this camera. What we will do is we will record many videos with the camera, and we will show you what we'll do is we'll indicate what, if we're using this camera, with indication at the beginning of the video saying it's PJ260V, recorded by PJ260V, of the top right hand corner of the camera itself, of the video itself, so you guys can take a look and say, oh, okay, that was recorded with the Sony PJ260V. So you know, if you guys have any questions, any comments about this unboxing and first look at the Sony Handycam PJ260V, let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to all our pages on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's all Booredatwork with 2 O's. So this is Thunder saying thank you, and always enjoy entertainment.